Shalom, today is May 12th, and we've been in war for 584 days in Israel. Yediot Achronot is mainly about the Israeli soldier that is also an American citizen, and he's coming back today, according to Hamas and the US. So it says here, Hamas and US have agreed. Edan Alexander yeshuchrar me'aza. Edan Alexander will be released from Gaza. And in the last days, it says here, Arhav nihala magaim yeshirim. The U.S. has had direct contact with the terror organization Hamas without involving Israel. This is in order to release Edan Alexander, that also has an American citizenship. And Hamas says this release is to bring a ceasefire and to continue to open up the humanitarian aid crossings where, the Gaza citizens and Hamas will be getting humanitarian aid. Another major story in Israel is of a body of an IDF soldier that was killed in Lebanon, on Lebanese land, 43 years ago. And today, finally, the Mossad was able to bring him back home. This is incredible. First, by chance, it's in the same time that we're speaking about Edan Alexander, the other hostages in Gaza. But this is 43 years ago when Zvika Feldman, we'll open up and see the story. Zvika Feldman was killed in Lebanon, and he's returned back. His body is returned back to Israel in a very heroic operation. He's going to be buried finally in the land of Israel. Before we get to the actual news articles, I want to highlight this opinion article by Edan Alexander. He's a well-known author in Israel, and he's speaking here about the deal between Trump and Hamas. So here he writes, Rotem Magen, do you want to live? Totzi'u darkon, issue a passport. He means a foreign passport. Edan Alexander is also an Israeli and also an American citizen, and this is why he's living. Rotzim tikva b'chol ha'matzav hazeh, Ranan says, do you want hope in all of this crazy situation? Chatuf echad shuchrar, one hostage was released without any conditions, without anything in return, and the hope is that Hamas maybe will be wanting to, give Trump another gift by releasing one more Israeli hostage. So Edan Alexander's opinion is really showing how weak Israel is, and if you want to be released, if you want to live, go ahead and issue a foreign passport, because Israel can't help, but Trump can. Here on the right, there's another opinion article by Nahum Barnea, another very senior journalist, and he's saying, HaKesef kanat HaMashiach, the money has bought the Messiah, and they're speaking about the large American US dollars that are going to be sent to the Middle East, not to Israel, and this is going to buy their favor towards the US. It says, Trump hu be'aya. Trump is a problem that will go along with us for the next 3.5 years and maybe more than that. And Israel is dependent on Trump's goodwill in his lies and in his whims. She cannot allow herself to stay out of the U.S. game. She needs U.S. behind her, but she's dependent on Trump's whims, lies, and goodwill. אחרי יותר מ-580 ימים, after more than 580 days, Edan ישוחרר מהגיהנום בעזה. Edan will be released from the hell, Gehenom, in Gaza, without the intervention of Israel. Also, today, President Trump's visit in the Middle East will begin, and he's not expected to come and visit Israel. This is perhaps because some tensions between him and Netanyahu, but Netanyahu denies that. Here's Trump and Netanyahu. I'm just noticing the image. They chose to show them back to back almost and not face to face, as there are tensions between them according to the article. Here's Edan Alexander, and it reads, Chozer habayta, coming back home. And needless to say, his parents are so relieved, his parents and his family, while the other parents of the IDF soldiers that are still there and still even alive, they're saying, we're happy that Edan is coming back, but we're not happy that the selection had to be made. Down here on the left, it reads deterioration between Egypt and Israel because of the expansion of Israel's war in Gaza. It says, Egypt will not assign, an ambassador in Israel. That's not good news. We need Egypt somewhat on our side. If Egypt is really against our actions, against our plans, and not assigning an ambassador in Israel, that is just not good for Israel. We shall see. Next, אנחנו לא מוכנים להיות שכירי חרב. We are not willing, we're not ready to be mercenary soldiers that fight for money. We're not willing to be that. So this article is about the reserve soldiers that are called up for the 4th and 5th time for rounds of fighting. We just had another large call up of reservists as Israel's preparing to expand the fighting in Gaza once again. And it reads here, Shivyon is from the word shaveh, meaning equal. So this is the equality of the netel. Netel is a heavy load that you carry. מילואימניקים קוראים לממשלה לגייס את כולם. Reservists are calling the government to recruit everyone, including the ultra-Orthodox, they mean. This is instead of just giving the serving soldiers sal hatavot, a bunch of benefits and financial benefits. They said, we don't want these benefits, we don't want these financial benefits. Our children want Abba at home. Our children want their fathers at home. So here's Ophir from Shoham. He's been serving for 300 days in reserve duty. They've left jobs, they've left families, their wives, and they go and serve and risk their lives. And because it's just them and not all of the population of Israel, not all of the men, it's just heavy as they are called over and over and over again, and they're being worn out. So Chava, a female soldier from Rishon LeZion, she served over 300 days in reserve duty. Matan and Stav from Beersheba, they're a couple. Together they served 370 days. Omri, 130 days, and Shaked, 160 reserve days. They are counting hundreds of days on uniform. They are not excited about the benefits that the government is giving them, and they prefer that the government will focus on enlisting the Haredim, the ultra-Orthodox. As far as they're concerned, the heavy load on their shoulders has to become smaller, has to shrink. It says here, and money does not compensate for lack of work, lack of days in their study. Some of them are young and they're studying the university. All that is just, gone. הילדים שלי לא רוצים שובר לגלידה. My children do not want a coupon for an ice cream or to a fancy playground, says Ophir. They want their Abba back home. Here in the image, we see reserve soldiers in Gaza, and also the green circles are just different benefits that they get, like 5,000 to 20,000 shekels for commanders, and on and on. Some of it is even helping the children go to summer camps and provides financial aid for their summer camps or other major camps like Passover, for instance. Now to the last article. Halo ye'amen kara, the unimaginable happened. Zvika chazar habaita. Zvika has returned home. This is Zvika Feldman. This is his sister and brothers that are older now. So it happened 43 years ago, where Zvika was killed in Lebanon. And it says, Mishpachto shel Tzvi Feldman, the family of Tzvi Feldman, received in great emotion and excitement the news that his body is coming back from Syria. It reads here, from June 11th, 1982, his family waited almost 43 years. And yesterday morning, they got the good news. Feldman family got the good news that Zvika will come back. And even though his parents passed away, his sister and his brothers said, we continued to pray, we continued to believe. Itzik Feldman's brother says this is a day of happiness mixed with grief, mixed with sadness. The family says, Halo yamen kara, the unimaginable happened, and Zvika has returned home. And Memorial Day, we will have a grave to go visit. We always prayed for that. We always believed in our hearts that Zvika will come home, and now he's here in the land of Israel. So I first want to thank the Borei Olam, the creator of the world, on this happy day. Thank you to the Prime Minister and to all of the security forces that helped this happen. So this happened in Sultan Yaakov in Lebanon on the sixth day of the war in Lebanon, and the people that planned the IDF operation did not know that there were so many Syrian forces ambushing them, and 20 soldiers died, many were missing, tanks blew up, and it was a big failure on the Israeli side. Dozens were injured and 6 were missing. 5 years ago, in the year 2019, Zacharia Baumer's body returned, and to date, Zvika Feldman. The only one last missing is Yehuda Katz, still in the land of Syria. This is such big news in Israel. The next 2 pages are still about this, and here we see the map of Israel. Here's the border with Lebanon and Syria. And right up here, deep into Lebanon, this is where the battle happened in Sultan Yaakov, 1982. Down here is an article that says, this needs to be a warning sign. Israel needs to bring back as fast as they can all the dead hostages and alive hostages from Gaza, because it could take so many years, 40 years. It is not easy to bring the dead bodies back, and of course the live ones as well. This is all for today. Thank you for staying with us, for watching us. If you like this video, please like it and share it with your friends. Continue to pray for Israel and for the government. We need God's mercies in every way. This is Rotem Magen, broadcasting from the Judean Hills near Jerusalem.